guys, today I'm going to be doing a review on We Were Liars by Lockhart. I didn't want to do a review of this book straight away. I finished it about a week ago because my brain was still trying to process what I had just read. It is one of those books that you cannot stop thinking about. I'm still thinking about it even now, and I don't want to say it's a mystery because there is a lot of mystery and intrigue about it, but it is contemporary, I think. I don't know how to genre these books, but it's very short. I finished this very quickly because I was just reading through it because I just wanted to know what happened, and the chapters as well. The chapters are very short. It's just like chapters in the middle of the pages, and the basis is it's about this girl called Cadence Sinclair, and she is part of a very rich family, and every summer she goes to her grandparents' private island with her mother, and her aunts and their cousins. And she always hangs out with her two cousins, Mirren and Johnny, and I think it's Johnny's friend. It's like his stepdad's nephew. I think. So it's not really family, but he's called Gat. We join Cadence in summer 17 when she is 17, and something happened in summer 15, so she took a year out of visiting the island. Something happened and no one is talking to her, no one's explaining it to her, something she has to figure out on her own, and from Cadence's mind we are figuring it out as well. And I think that is about all I can tell you plot-wise, so I'm just going to get straight into what I thought of it. The writing is something unlike I have ever read. It is short, it is snappy, and I think that is why I got through it so quickly. The sentences are really snappy. It's like poetry, really. And the way it explains the characters, when you first meet Mirren, Johnny and Gat, the way they're explained, it's only in a few words, but it just sums them up beautifully in a sort of aesthetic way. It's amazing. Johnny, he is bounce, effort and snark. Mirren, she is sugar, curiosity and rain. Gat seemed spring-loaded, like he was searching for something. He was contemplation and enthusiasm, ambition and strong coffee. Like how I would love people just to be explained like that more often, not because, oh, she was sweet and she was kind and she had brown hair. Just those few sentences alone, those few words, you can get a basis of who they are. Just that alone is amazing, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. What I also loved is that there's a map of the Sinclair Island, Beechwood Island. You get a little map. I always love books that have maps in. It's just so nice. And a family tree. This family tree was really helpful introducing the aunts and the cousins, because I had to keep looking back and see which cousin belonged to which aunt. And I loved it. I really, really liked it. Right now, if this sounds intriguing, I haven't given much away, but I cannot explain enough. You need to read this to understand it. So please do, if you want to be spoiled, carry on watching, but I highly recommend you read this book. Okay. It says at the back that there is a twist. Lockhart has created a mystery with an ending most readers won't see coming. It will prompt some to return immediately to page 1 to figure out how they missed it. Throughout the book, I just kept thinking what the twist was. And I had quite a few crazy theories. I did not see this twist coming, but I did actually look back on the first page. I kept rereading the first page over and over when I started, thinking, how could I figure this plot out? The way Cadence explains herself right in the beginning, that how she used to be this and how she used to be that. Something terrible happened to her, and this is what we are trying to figure out. It is true I suffer from migraines since my accident. It's true I do not suffer fools. I like a twist of meaning. You see? Suffer migraines. Do not suffer fools. The word means almost the same thing as it did in the previous sentence, but not quite. Suffer. You could say it means endure, but that's not exactly right. My first thought was, did she kill someone? Did someone wrong her and she murdered them and that's why she can't remember? Something happened? I don't know. I was trying to figure it out, and I just had so many crazy ideas. I thought that because she fell off the cliff and she hit her head or somewhere, I thought maybe she'd commit suicide. I thought that Gat did something to her, that's why I kept feeling so guilty. I thought she got pregnant and he just got in a rage and pushed her off the cliff. Or she found out she was pregnant and jumped herself off the cliff. I didn't know, I just kept thinking of so many strange plots. I kept thinking this whole time because at the beginning of the book, her dad leaves and he packs all his things and he drives away. My father put a suitcase into the backseat of the Mercedes. He was leaving Mummy with only the Saab and he started the engine. Then he pulled out a handgun and shot me in the chest. I was standing on the lawn and I fell. The bullet hole opened wide and my heart rolled out of my ribcage and down into the flower bed. Blood gushed rhythmically from my open wound, then from my eyes, my ears, my mouth. It tasted like salt and failure. The bright red shame of being unloved soaked the grass in front of our house, the bricks of the path, the steps and the porch. What?! I thought, did he actually shoot her? Is that the twist? Did he shoot her? But no, the more I read into it, I thought, oh, it's like a metaphor. And from that moment on, I knew I was in for it. I knew that I was going to be tricked at every turn and corner of this book. And I was thinking, is the dad something to do with it? Did he really shoot her? Is something to do with... I don't know. I just could not stop thinking about the twist. I loved the idea of the summer house. The more I read into it, and I wanted a summer house of my own and to like eat blueberries on the roof and just go swimming whenever I wanted and take the speedboat and go play tennis and take the dogs for a walk along the beach. I wanted that life. But the more we got into it, I realised I didn't want the life because the sisters, the aunts, are having a dispute about who should own what after the grandmother dies. And it felt really real. The book felt really real because all families have disputes, they can have arguments about who owns what, and the aunts were driving their children to stick up to the granddad because the granddad, he was such a douchebag. He was so cruel. He did not care what he thought. He thought himself as the head of the family and he thought himself above everyone else. He did not care. When Granddad moved out of the house and one of the aunts left one of the houses free, it was nice. I thought it was nice how the teenagers, or the liars, what they call themselves, all moved in. I thought, okay, that was kind of cute. They kind of want their space away from the little ones and from all the arguments and everything, and it was kind of cute how they were just pushing the furniture around and hanging ribbons from the ceiling, and they'd just play board games and eat whenever. I thought, that was nice, I liked that. But then they started like leaving dirty plates in the sink, throwing plasticine on the walls, and making mess with orange juice and didn't clean it up. That's just disgusting. And I thought, how could the parents just leave them like that? Leave them to do whatever they wanted. And then when we got to the ending, I sort of stopped and went, oh, that's why. The twist caught me. I did not see the twist coming. Of all the things I imagined, I did not see this twist coming. The fire, I can understand why they wanted it, just how. I can understand how they wanted to, like, okay, let's not give the parents, let's give them all nothing to argue about so they can start again. But set fire to the house with all the memories and all the photo albums. Cadence even said herself how much she liked, like, the framed comic books and all the frames and all the books. But just, they did mention about, like, taking out all the ivory and smashing it to pieces. Just do that. Just take all the items out and just smash them to pieces. Don't burn down the whole house. That's just a recipe for disaster. Come on, really? But it was just a stupid plan. I mean, okay, they got a little bit drunk and wine, but how drunk were you to not know how fire works? Just, okay, I understand they thought, okay, let's just split up and douse all the floors. But then don't set fire to the floors. Just all get out, then set fire to it. Because, oh, why? It's just ridiculous. The ending really got me when I found out that they died in the house. But the dogs, the dogs. I felt terrible finding out that the dogs died. I was finishing this book on the bus stop, and I was just there like, oh, don't cry, please, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. But I felt terrible for finding out that the dogs died. It just tore my heart out because it was just the like, we killed the dogs. I'm like, oh, that's sad. But the way Cadence goes on about how misbehaved they were and how they begged for food and how they brought dirty paws in and how slobbery toys. But then it's like, oh, those naughty dogs. But then she went on about how they liked it when you used to sneak them a bug and how their tails wagged and those poor naughty dogs just burning and waiting for someone to rescue them. That was just, no! It threw the book. So much it made me sad. I have dogs myself, so as soon as I got home, I cuddled my dogs. Like, I am never, ever gonna do that. But, oh my god, it just frustrated me. Like, when you went upstairs, wouldn't you check all the rooms first before you went out? Let the dogs out! Like, when you're dowsing whoever was in charge of that top floor where the dogs were, I think, oh no, wait, stop, the dogs are here, let them out! Because that's just me, you know? It's not for the dogs, they weren't fighting over the dogs were just minding their own business. It's really sad in books and films where they just kill off the dogs. It's just heartbreaking. But oh, Cadence, she just annoyed me with the fire. I mean, yes. She's just, okay, she ran out of petrol, so she decided to douse the books. How stupid are you? Paper catches quite quickly. So when you're adding petrol to it, it just makes it even worse. How stupid are you? She didn't even have a signal, she just set fire to it and then she heard screams, then she realised, yeah, you made a mistake, you did bad. It's just, oh. But, oh my god, it just broke my heart. I was reading it, it was just like, oh god, it was just, now looking back, I want to read it again. Because during Summer 17, I don't think Cadence ever mentioned the liars again in conversation. Now that I know what the ending's like, if that affected, so I can read back and go, oh, so that's why this happened, that's why this happened, and because I was reading it on the bus home, my iPod on shuffle decided to play The Things We Lost in the Fire by Bastille. So that was lovely, like I wasn't feeling emotional enough. Thanks iPod for playing that lovely song to me. Of all the characters, I think Mirren was my favourite. I don't know, I just found her adorable. She was just, I don't know, I just liked her. Out of all of them, I liked her the most. And how she was making up this boyfriend because she felt sort of jealous of what Candace and Gat had. So she decided to make up a boyfriend. It was just, I really liked her. I didn't like the mother. I did not like Cadence's mother. Because back to when her father left, all she said to Cadence was, basically she told her to grow up and live with it. And I thought, okay, this is a bit harsh much, just to suck it up. Okay, but I can understand that it's your husband leaving, but when the grandmother died, she said the same thing to Cadence, like she is not allowed to cry, she should be normal. Excuse me, you can understand that you want your daughter to suck it up because your husband left, but when your own mother dies, do you not have a soul, woman? Another thing that got me thinking is at the end when Mirren, Johnny and Gat decide to let go. I didn't know whether it was Cadence's imagination thinking that they were there throughout the summer or if they were actually ghosts. Me personally, I thought that they were ghosts. But I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this book, and I hope to see you all very soon. Goodbye!